Here are some of my biggest tips as a nurse after being a nurse for 1 year now. Number one, becoming a breakfast person. Now, if you're not a morning breakfast person like I'm not, I understand. Literally, getting up in the morning, I'm nauseated. I don't want to eat anything, especially when it's like 5:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. But I'm telling you guys, skipping breakfast with these 12-hour, unpredictable, crazy, chaotic shifts is just not it. It's not the vibe, okay? Like getting to work and possibly getting an admission or running like a million different orders or like having to take care of all these tasks and possibly not being able to eat till 2, 3, 4 p.m., sometimes fasting the whole day. That is not worth it. I don't know about you guys, but I get lightheaded and I feel like crap. So I can't do that. So what I do now is I show up to work 10 minutes early and I bring my favorite breakfast of all time, which is a Chobani parfait that has granola, blackberries, you can put whatever fruit you want. I put like chia seeds. I put a chopped Cliff Bar. My favorite Cliff Bar is the mint chocolate, and I put that in there, and it is so good. I start off my shift feeling so good, like I am ready to take on anything. Let's go. I'm awake, I'm ready to go, and that is just the best way to start off your shift. Like I can't explain it to you guys. It is the biggest move I made because when I was in nursing school, I like completely skipped breakfast and just like showed up and like, okay, here we go. And I would get a headache. Like I would just feel awful all day, like waiting for the day to end. And now I'm like, I'm ready, let's go. Like I can handle anything that's coming my way. My second biggest tip is to let go of the things that are out of your control and do not take responsibility for things that you have no control over. So for example, if your patient is refusing a med or things start to go a little bit south with your patient, they're getting worse, you know, they're not progressing, whatever. I used to always feel like it was my fault. Like I must have done something because, you know, this patient is in my care. So how they're doing is representative of my work and like my care. And I just remember going throughout my whole shift, having anxiety, worried that like something could go wrong because that's going to be my responsibility to fix. And when these little inconveniences and like little things happen, little negative things, you need to remember, you know what? This was either not my doing or I don't have control over this. So I'm going to go about my day and just continue to have a good day and do the best that I can do. And I would try to remind myself this all throughout the shift. You can't let it get to you emotionally. That's the worst thing you can do. You can only do the best that you can do and what is within your power. And as long as you keep your patient safe at the end of the day, follow out your orders in a safe way using your best nursing judgment, that is the best you can do. So you cannot stress about the stuff that's out of your control. Tip number 3, do not try to go through nursing or nursing school alone. You need to have a support system outside of your home life, okay? You need to make friends. This is going to be like what makes work kind of more exciting for you. I remember when I first started to finally make my girlfriends like on my night shift, I would just feel so much more comfortable and so much more supported like at work. I knew that if something kind of went wrong or I needed help with an IV or I had a question for something, like I had people to go to. And the way I made friends quickly, because of course in the beginning, you know, you're shy, you're overwhelmed with all these things that are going on and you might kind of just keep to yourself. Like that's kind of what I did. But in the beginning, I just made it a point to literally, I don't want to say bother people, but anytime I had a question or anytime I needed anything, like I just made friends with like the buddy next to me. My unit is like an open bay unit, so we don't have private rooms. So I was just always going to the person next to me, and I made sure to be very, very kind to them, very sweet, and anything that I could help them out with, like something that was like an easier task, like whether it was like preparing milk for the babies or making a bed for one of their babies, you know, whatever it was, I would just offer like my help to them just so I could form like a good relationship with them. And, you know, now they're going to be there if I need help. And it's just good to have like a friend vibe going on with all of the new staff, like all these new coworkers that you have. It honestly makes your experience like so much better as a nurse. I love going into work and knowing everyone, being super friendly with everyone, just having like good energy and good vibes. When you start making your friends that you hang out with them outside of work, like something about hanging out with your coworkers outside of work. I don't know if it's just like a coping, comforting thing, but it's so beneficial and therapeutic, in my opinion, to have friends that really do understand what it is that we go through as nurses and just in like your everyday job. And that's something that like your family and friends outside of work, if they're not nurses, just can't necessarily bond with you on the same level as like these other people, the coworkers that you have. This is just some of the many tips I have since becoming a nurse, but this video is getting a little bit long, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and best of luck to all my new nurses out there on your new journey.